There are tons of reasons why you would want to lose weight, but without knowing the why, it's going to be very difficult for you to be committed to that goal. So work on developing intrinsic motivation. Determine what is your why. If you could figure out your why, it is going to be much more likely that you succeed with your New Year's resolution. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10 reasons your New Year's resolution is going to fail, and things that you can do to ensure that you succeed. It is that time of year again. We are less than 1 week away from New Year's, and with that comes the time when millions of people are going to flock to their gyms to try to either lose weight, build muscle, or get stronger. And within a month, most of those people are going to completely quit on their New Year's resolutions. So these are the top 10 reasons why your New Year's resolution is going to fail. The number one reason your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you're not mentally prepared. This is a really big one. The moment that you decided to make your New Year's resolution to either lose fat, build muscle, get stronger, improve your health, that was the moment that you should have started on your New Year's resolution. The problem is a lot of people, they will set this New Year's resolution back in November, December, and willpower is a muscle that you need to practice on a regular basis, just like with your muscles. If you want your muscles to get stronger, you need to weight train. Well, if you want your willpower to get stronger, you are going to need to practice exercising your willpower. So the moment that you decided that you wanted to either lose fat, build muscle, or get stronger should have been the moment that you decided to start going to the gym and doing that. Because you have already decided to procrastinate and put it off until later in the new year, I'm going to start to get into shape. Well, at that point, you've already started the process of procrastination, and it's going to make it that much easier for you to procrastinate in the future. You should not start when New Year's comes. You should have already started by now. And it's not too late to start. New Year still isn't for another week. So if you want to really get in shape and make that your New Year's resolution, don't wait an entire week. Start today. The number two reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you have unrealistic expectations. This is another huge problem. A lot of people, they will set their New Year's resolutions and they will have ridiculous expectations, thinking that they could lose 100 pounds in 1 month. You need to be able to manage your expectations properly, and you need to be very realistic. What is a realistic goal? Well, when somebody comes to me for fat loss, my general recommendation is between 0.5% to 1% of your total body weight lost in fat every single week. That is a very good, attainable, realistic goal to have. If you try to lose too much weight at once, what's going to happen is you're going to have this rebound effect, because in order to lose that much weight, you are going to have to restrict your calories severely. And when you restrict your calories excessively, what happens is your body secretes the hormone ghrelin. Ghrelin, if you recall, is your hunger hormone. And one of the things with regard to ghrelin is when it is elevated, it is going to cause you to crave high calorie dense foods, and it has also been linked to poor decision making. So if you restrict your calories excessively in order to achieve an unrealistic goal, what's going to happen is ghrelin is going to be elevated. It is going to cause you to crave high calorie dense foods, and because your decision making skills are not going to be optimal, it is going to be very easy for you to go out on a binge and put back on all of the weight that you lost from your extreme deficit. Now, the number three reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you don't have a plan. This is another big problem. Most people, when they go to the gym, they go in blindly. Best case scenario, they end up finding somebody that has a body that they want to look like, and then they just kind of walk around and mimic every single exercise that they're doing. A couple problems. One, that person did not start out on that routine. They had years of exercise routines that they did prior to that. And two, just because they are doing a particular program, it doesn't mean that you are going to get the same results from that same program. Everybody's body is different, and because everybody's body is differently, you need to be able to train differently according to what style is going to best suit your body. And in order to do that, you need to customize something. So if you don't have a plan, what I'm going to do is include a link to a 1-year beginner program that I came up with a few months ago. I'm going to include a link right up over here. It's a 1-year beginner program using linear periodization. What linear periodization is, intensity goes up as repetitions goes down. There are 12 different programs in that playlist, so go ahead, check it out, and you could use that to make 2020 your best year yet and achieve all of your health and fitness goals. Now, the number four reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you're not tracking your progress. If you're not tracking your progress, how are you going to know whether or not you are improving? You're not going to know. So if you want to be able to actually have a plan, stick to it, and make sure that the plan is working, you need to track your progress. Buy yourself a notebook or get yourself some type of training book ebook, come up with a spreadsheet on Excel like what I do, and track every single thing that you do. With regard to your workouts, you want to track how many sets did you do, how many repetitions, what was the weight that you were using, how much volume did you lift. By tracking all of these numbers, it's going to make it much easier for you to achieve your goal, because by having all of these numbers right in front of you, it's going to be a way to motivate you. And if you are the type of person that enjoys a little bit of competition, you can be in competition with yourself. You don't want to compete with other people, but keep a training log, and every single workout, try to be a better version than you were the day prior. The number 5 reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you're not training for your goal. A lot of people, when they go into the gym, same thing. They will go in blindly. They don't know how many repetitions do they need to do, how many sets. Depending on what your goal is, this is going to dictate how you should be training. So if it is your goal to lose fat, that's going to be a different type of training stimulus than if your goal is to build muscle, than if your goal is to build strength. So depending on whether your goal is to lose fat, build strength, increase the amount of muscle that you have, increase your flexibility, coordination, agility, all of these different goals are going to require a different training stimulus. So if you're not familiar with training and how exactly to write an exercise program, I am going to include a playlist right up over here to my program design playlist. There are over 20 videos, and currently it is close to 7 hours worth of program design videos. So if you have the time to spend, I would highly encourage you to go ahead, check out that playlist, and use it to customize a program for your specific goal. The number 6 reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you hate your workout program. If you do not enjoy the workout program that you are doing, you are not going to want to follow it, and it's going to be very easy to just completely stop doing it. There are tons of exercises that you can do, and you don't need to pick exercises that you don't enjoy, even though certain exercises are terrific. Me personally, I love doing squats, and squats are one of the best exercises that you can do. But if you hate doing squats and they make you demotivated every single time you go to the gym, you just don't want to be there anymore, and it's going to cause you to quit going to the gym, then you don't need to put squats in your training routine. Are they a great exercise? Yes, they are. Do you need to do them to get results? No, you don't. Do the exercises and the workouts that you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you are going to look forward to going to the gym, which means your routine is going to be very sustainable. And if you could sustain it, that is going to be the key to long-term results. The number 7 reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you're not changing your eating habits. This is another problem that a lot of people have. They go to the gym and think that by working out, they can magically transform their body. And the truth is, you cannot lose weight just by working out. You're going to need to incorporate some type of nutritional strategies into your program. And one of the best ways that you can go about changing your eating habits, rather than focusing on things like weight and calories, is by focusing on changing one habit at a time. Every single month, you want to pick one of your habits that you are either not doing that you should be doing, or that you are currently doing that you shouldn't be doing, and do that for one entire month. Focus all of your energy on that. I'm going to include a link right up over here called Lose Weight Effortlessly, One Habit at a Time, and I go into much more detail in that video on how exactly you could employ this strategy. But you want to be able to change your eating habits as well, and not just focus on exercise, because at the end of the day, weight loss is going to come down to calories in versus calories out. There's no way around that. If you're in a caloric deficit, you are going to lose weight. If you are in a caloric surplus, you are going to gain weight. And if the amount of calories that you take in is equal to that of your total daily energy expenditure, your weight is going to be exactly the same. The problem with that is, if it is your goal to either lose fat or build muscle, when it comes to your total daily energy expenditure, it is comprised essentially of 4 different things. Number 1 is going to be your basal metabolic rate. These are the calories that your body burns at rest doing absolutely nothing at all. And that accounts for roughly 70% of your total calories expended throughout the day. The second biggest contributor to your total daily energy expenditure is going to be your NEAT calories, or your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is things like brushing your teeth, waving your hands around, and all the little micro movements that do not count as exercise but accumulate throughout the day. When it comes to your NEAT calories, this is going to account for roughly 15% of your total calorie energy expenditure. The third biggest contribution to your total daily energy expenditure is going to be your thermic effective food. This is the calories that you burn through the process of digestion. With regard to digestion, we have mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion would be things like mastication, so chewing the food into small little bolus to prepare it to go inside of our body. And then chemical digestion would be the processes involved in breaking down that food, things like digestive enzymes and body secreting HCl, in order to break it down and convert that into either amino acids, fatty acids, or glycogen that can be stored in the muscle. Now, the fourth thing is going to be your exercise activity thermogenesis. With regard to exercise activity thermogenesis, only 5% of the total calories that you burn throughout the day is going to come from exercise. So if your strategy at losing weight is to just incorporate exercise and not changing any of your dietary habits, that is not going to be an effective strategy, and you are not going to see the results that you want. So you can't just go to the gym and expect miraculous results. You are going to need to change your eating habits. The number 8 reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you're in too big of a calorie deficit. Now, you may at this point be thinking, well, you just told me a couple seconds ago that I need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, so how can I be in too big of a calorie deficit? Well, very simple. When you are in too big of a calorie deficit, your body is going to secrete the hormone ghrelin. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone, and again, when it is elevated, it's going to cause you to crave high calorie dense foods and make poor decisions, such as going out on a binge. I made a video about this a few weeks ago. It is called How Many Calories Do I Need? So go ahead, I'll include a link right up over here. Check that video out if you want to figure out exactly how many calories do you need. In a nutshell, 0.5% to 1% of your body weight should be what you can expect to lose every single week for it to be sustainable. Depending on what your weight is, that is going to dictate how much of a calorie deficit you should be in. But go ahead and check out that video as I elaborate in that video how many calories you should be consuming. The number 9 reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you're relying too heavily on supplements. At the end of the day, a lot of people are going to overemphasize supplements and they are not going to pay attention to their nutrition. And the truth is, supplements are meant to supplement your diet. They are not meant to replace your diet. So if you are hyper-focused on incorporating as many supplements as possible and you don't bother to change up your eating habits, that's not going to be a very effective strategy, and you're not going to lose the weight that you want to lose. So if you do want to lose a lot of fat, build some muscle, then you need to incorporate nutritional strategies. You cannot just go on all these miracle supplements and expect miraculous results. They are all just a bunch of scams. You need to put in the work. You need to watch what you eat. You need to exercise. Then on top of that, if you want to add in some supplements to accelerate the process a little bit, then you could do that, but they should not be your main focus. And lastly, the number 10 reason why your New Year's resolution is going to fail is that you lack intrinsic motivation. When it comes to motivation, we have 2 types of motivation. We have intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. I'm going to include a link right up over here. I made a video called How to Balance Intrinsic Motivation and Extrinsic Motivation, and I go into much more detail in that video, so go ahead and check it out. But essentially, with regard to intrinsic motivation, this is something that is internal. We do not need some type of external stimulus in order to motivate us to do something. This is something that we have a lot of when we are children. When we are children, we just want to go out and play and explore the world, and we don't do it because of any other reasons than out of our own genuine curiosity. Whereas with extrinsic motivation, this is some type of external stimulus that is going to be provided to us. That could be in the form of either encouragement, reward, and this is something that a lot of people will have to resort to. If you are lacking intrinsic motivation with regard to working out, if you don't just enjoy working out for the sake of working out, you need some form of extrinsic motivation to get you started until that extrinsic motivation can turn into intrinsic motivation. So with regard to extrinsic motivation, this is going to be things like losing weight. If it is your goal to lose weight, then the number on the scale going down, that's going to be extrinsic motivation, because when you see that number go down, it is going to motivate you to work out. But what happens when the scale does not move, when you don't lose any weight? Well, then your extrinsic motivation is not giving you that reward that you're seeking out. So you're going to need to find some intrinsic motivation. A couple things that you could do until you develop that sense of intrinsic motivation. Number 1, go to the gym with some friends. They're going to help to motivate you. They're going to push you along. And by doing that, even if you're not doing it for yourself, it is going to help you until you are able to push yourself for the sake of doing it for your own benefit. But until then, you are going to need to find some types of external motivation to get you into the gym and lose the weight. Once you have that motivation, you need to work on intrinsic motivation. So come up with a list of reasons why you want to lose the weight, or why you want to get stronger, or why you want to build muscle. Having a goal of losing weight, building muscle, and getting stronger is great, but you need to have a reason as to why you are doing that. If it is your goal to lose fat, why do you want to lose fat? Is it just because you want to look better? Is it because you want to improve your health? There are tons of reasons why you would want to lose weight, but without knowing the why, it's going to be very difficult for you to be committed to that goal. So work on developing intrinsic motivation. Determine what is your why. If you could figure out your why, it is going to be much more likely that you succeed with your New Year's resolution. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.